Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Valentine's Day card. This is another in my Valentine's 2018 card series. If you've been a child of baby boomer, I'm sure you have seen or received the little candy conversation hearts at one point or another. And this card design is based on that. I have a giant bag of these little conversation hearts and they are really cute, and I'm going to be including them in this card design. I'm also using a little bit more of this holographic foil, and the design is really simple and quick, and even if you didn't have these conversation hearts at your disposal, you could recreate this design using any kind of heart sticker that you had. Let me move this out of the way and get right into making the card. The inks I'm going to be using is Versafine Onyx Black, Ladybug Memento, and Ladybug Rosebud. Also, I'm going to be using a red marker. In this case, I'm using a distress marker, Candied Apple. I'm also using the Stella glitter brush, and this is red. And I also need Mowed Lawn distress ink, but any green ink will do for this. And these are the conversation hearts that I'm using. I have a bigger white one and two small stamped ones. Let me quickly grab that bag. So I have bunches of these. It came in a giant bag of 500, and if you follow me on Facebook, you saw that I posted some videos where I went through that bag and sorted them all out. It took a little bit of time, but I got it done. The stamp sets I'm using today is, I have my little dollar stamps, which I got at some point, and the Sweet Summer stamp set from Stampin' Up. This was a celebration item. I don't know how long ago. I got this from eBay, I think. I'm also going to be using my Stampamajig because I need to do a little bit of positioning, and I have a blender tool. I'm also going to be using one of the stamp sets from Celebrate Days by Hero Arts and a few generic heart stamps. Okay, I think that's everything. So, and some bows. Let me move this out of the way and jump right into creating the card. The first thing, I'm bringing in my Misty tool, and I'm going to stamp the front panel. So I've already put my stamp onto the block where I need it to be, and I've already figured out this needs to be at 4 inches because I want this flowers to be centered in the paper. So the first flower will be stamped is the middle one. So I'm going to put my paper at 6.5 inches so that allows room for the stamp. 6.5, yes. Okay, so this is going to stamp the middle one. All right. Whoopsie. Now I'm going to slide the paper down 1.5 inches to 8 inches. And down it again, and I'll stamp the next one. All right, now I'm going to move it all the way up, which brings it to stamp the one on this side now. And if I've done this right, the 3 flowers will be perfectly centered on the paper. And looks good. This design is very simple, and you can mass produce this by just leaving that stamp on the block, well, the door, and remembering to move the paper as you need to. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of watercoloring with my aqua pen. and the Mowed lawn. So you just take and put a little bit on a clear block. It's more than enough. And just pick up the color and just drop it right in. This is regular cardstock. This is not watercolor paper. And you don't need the watercolor paper for this little bit of water that's going to go on this paper. Just be careful not to oversaturate it, because then it'll start warping a little bit. Okay, that just needs a brief few minutes to dry. Meanwhile, I'm going to add a little bit of ground below these flowers to ground it, no pun intended, on the paper. So I have 2 pieces of white copy paper, and I'm just going to use one as a mask and the other to protect my work surface. And using the ink blending tool, just go right across. It'll look like you didn't put very much on there at first, but it's really a lot of color, and you'll see it once I move the papers. There you go. Alrighty. Now the rest is just simply putting this card together. So I'm going to let the music run and just assemble the card. Oh, and I also want to explain what I did with this stamp here. I inked the entire stamp in black, and then I used my rag and paper and wiped away the black from the heart, and then brought in my marker and painted the heart red. You can do this spotlight coloring on any stamp that you had. This works a lot better on the wooden rubber stamps than it does on the cheaper clear stamps and photopolymer, but if you're careful, you can still get it to work. You may not be entirely happy with the results, but it's very simple to do. All right, that's the finished card. With my big silly hands, I smeared the black on this. It wasn't quite dry. I'm afraid you can see that. Oh, sorry, I'll have to make that one again, but you get the idea. So as I promised, it was really, really quick, and you could recreate this without these conversation hearts. You can use hearts or flowers or whatever you want it. And this holographic foil really makes it sparkle quite a lot. I think you can see it. It's really, really pretty and very simple. I'd like to thank you for watching my video, and I'd like to thank you for subscribing to my channel. And I'd also like to thank my brother David for the music that he provides. I hope that you start thinking about Valentine Day cards ideas yourself by watching my videos, and I hope that you stay with me through this series. Thanks everyone, and have a great day.